Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your man, Dr. John T. Turner, aka the Professor JT, aka Dr. JT, and welcome to season 3 of the Doc Chat Show, live from my brand new Doc Chat studio. Baby, I'm telling you right now, in the past year, we started the Doc Chat 1 year ago, and I'm telling you, it is completely blown up, and it's all because of you, the great viewers who checked us out on LinkedIn, checked us out on YouTube. I just want to say thank y'all so much. We're not going to waste no time. We're going to jump into it. Hey, if you're checking us out on the Doc Chat, let us know what doctorate degree program you're in, you graduated from. Let us know what city you're from. Holla at these great doctors that I brought in on here. I'm telling you, we want to hear from you tonight because this is season 3 and we are live. I'm telling you right now, I got the Dr. E and Dr. V. Oh, man, we got a show for you tonight. That's Walden University. That's North Central University. They are here tonight and they're going to share their doctoral journey and they're going to share some real talk with you. Real talk tonight. And I'm excited about it. Without further ado, you know we're a respectable show here on the Doc Chat. I'm going to start with my friend Dr. V. Welcome to the Doc Chat. Let folks know where you got your doctorate degree from, what your research was in, and the work that you're doing now. Welcome to the Doc Chat Show.
Thank you so much. So I graduated from North Central, a non-traditional school, if you will, because it's an online curriculum. So here's to breaking down the barriers and making education accessible for us all. My research was in the social support systems that allow women to obtain and retain senior leadership positions. So maybe you're married, maybe you're not married, maybe you have a supportive spouse, maybe you don't. But the things that a great spouse does are things that are equity plays. Getting your house cleaned is an equity play. Having a meal delivery service is an equity play. You wouldn't go to work and run a vacuum and clean your office, so don't do it at home. So that was the bulk of my work.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Already getting love show. Look at that. Shout out to mom. We absolutely love it. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. And my good friend, Dr. Terry, I see you. Hey, I got somebody else around South Carolina here I'm about to introduce to you. We absolutely love it. And Walden University. Oh, man. Dr. E, let the folks know where you're from, what research you did, and tell everybody how you're doing tonight.
Well, thank you for having me again. My name is Dr. E, I guess for short tonight, and I'm from Orangeburg, South Carolina. I see that we have some people, like you said, from Charleston, but I attended Walden University, and I was a part of the public policy and administration school, and my topic was on the challenges and opportunities of providing victim advocate support to children who have lost a parent to homicide. When I started the process, I actually lost my mother at my senior year in high school. And at the time, I was working for the Department of Juvenile Justice, and I immediately saw the connection of why we find youth who find themselves maybe what you would say incarcerated or find themselves in delinquency status. And I wanted to just fill that gap and see if the state of South Carolina was doing a great job in providing services to this particular population of youth. And what we found out is that there is a big lack of just evidence programs and also just resources, mainly focused into the African American communities and the rural communities is where the lack of resources are available. So that's why that was all about my study. And I work in community economic development, and everybody say, well, your study is not nothing close to what you actually do, but it was something my passion in my doctoral studies was driven by my own experience without losing my mom.
That's what we're talking about. Look, the family is showing up as well. Giving love to great Dr. E there. We absolutely love it. And we also have my great friend, Dr. Whitty, another Walden alum, stepping in, showing love. We absolutely appreciate you for checking in on tonight. My God, Dr. Denton. What's up, my God? I'm telling you, I can't wait till he gets on the Doc Chat too this summer. I got a line up for you all, and it is going to be incredible. Now, we're going to jump right into it, folks, because how we do on the Doc Chat, we give the real about what getting the doctor degree is about. So I'm going to start with Dr. V. Tell me why you even decided to go for a doctorate degree, and how was that very first year getting into your doctorate program?
I decided to do it the same reason I decided to get my first degree when I was in my 40s. I had added to statistics I wasn't proud of, and I had contributed to that narrative. I am, there might be 13% of the population is Black, but 37% of us have been incarcerated, and I was one of those people. I was also one of those people that that danced to pay the bills, to provide for my children, and did it sober. I don't know what that says about me as a person, because I was straight sober doing it. But it wanted to put some checks on the other column. And that's why I went back, my bachelor's, my master's, my MBA. So thank you to Western Governors University, and thank you to North Central, which is now rebranded National University. But I had 3 unsuccessful marriages. When I ended my 3rd marriage, I got 4 degrees. And I was like, what is this that this amazing Black man that is loving me now, that is my husband now, what is this that is making me able to accomplish these things and work a full-time job? How is this happening? And that's really what made me look into the social support system, because I knew better than to tell women to go get married, because that is not always the path, right? So I love being a wife, and I didn't want to tell women not to get married. So it's like, you can have it all, but maybe not at the same time, and maybe with a lot of help, definitely with a lot of help. So I wanted to right some wrongs, and I wanted to leave the world a better place for my community, for my women of color, for my Black women, and also my Black men, because I don't know how y'all made it through with all you have going on. Like, congratulations, for real.
Absolutely.
You said tell it.
That's what we do here. That's what we do here. And I'm seeing the love coming in. Dr. E, I appreciate you, my God. All the great love that's coming in, folks. This is just incredible. Hey, if you're checking us out in the doc chat, once again, tell us where you're from, what doctorate program you in. And if they say some comments you like, let them know. Let these great doctors know the great work that they're doing, and go ahead and show them some love. Now, Dr. E, what made you go get your degree, frat? Now, I'm telling you, I already know it ain't no joke. So what made you say, I'm going to go ahead and do this?
Well, my story is kind of a little untraditional. When I graduated from undergrad, my goal was, or my original plan was, to go to law school. And I started going to all of these LSAT preps and everything, and it just wasn't going in my favor. And during that time, they always say, God has a definitely a bigger plan, and you just have to trust the process. And I was working at the clerk's office at that time, and I got exposed to civil litigation and criminal litigation. And I was like, I don't know if I really see myself doing this long term. And actually, she was my girlfriend at the time, but my wife, she called me. She was like, you know what? You've been out of school. You got to go back and get something. Because she was like, I know you practice for your LSAT, but she was like, it's not working out, woman, but you have to keep pushing. And in that moment, it kind of just clicked. I was like, you know what? I know what school I'm going to. I enrolled in Walden. I got my master's in public administration, and then went back and got my master's in public policy administration. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm about to jump on this bandwagon and get my PhD, and got on that. And I'm telling you, for me, it was something, when I very first started, I was like, what have I gotten myself into?
Oh, yeah.
As relates to, like, in my immediate family that had pursued past a bachelor's degree. So the first thing that they told me is, you need to surround yourself with a community of individuals who know how it feels to get a PhD, and are actually going through the process with you. And that was, I'm telling you, I held on to those words, and I went to those residencies. I got and met awesome individuals, and those people have become my family. But my whole journey was just untraditional. I really just sat back and allowed God to kind of show me where He was going to take me. And even when it came down to picking my topic, I went into it. I said, you know what? I know what I'm going to do with my topic. And as I started working for the Department of Juvenile Justice, at nowhere, it just clicked. I was like, you know what? I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know what my topic is. I know what the gap is. I live it every day. And that's pretty much kind of developed my whole topic. And since then, even though I'm not working in that realm of work anymore, soon as I hear someone talking about, services or community services for you who have lost a parent, light bulbs start going. I'm like, hey, we have to provide enough services, or more services, especially to the rural communities, because that's what that's what the deficiencies are.
I love that.
That's pretty much what kind of guided me and took me into this direction.
Okay. And we're going to dive into a little bit more of that research, because I'm telling you, that's what the people want to hear. Plus, they want to hear, what were the hiccups? What were the hangups? And I'm telling you, Everybody has some when you're going to the doctor. Look at Dr. V cracking up over there. She already know. The great Dr. Denton. Now you've seen there was another Dr. Denton. I got two Dr. Dentons. The couple, I'm telling you, I can't wait to have them both on. Good evening to you, Doc. We appreciate the work that you're doing. So, Dr. V, you're in the program now. What were some of the things that hit you and you was like, oh crap, like I'm really in this thing. Like this thing ain't no joke. Like what were some of the things that were kind of like what's going on? But then what were some of the like I can do this pieces that hit before you went into writing your dissertation?
Statistics. Period.
That's the show, folks. That's it. We're done. You ain't lying.
I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. I didn't have that same community. I had an incredible boyfriend, fiance, then husband, but I didn't surround myself with anyone. I surrounded myself with walls in a type, in this right here, and typed it out. That would have been nice. What was incredible though is my chair is a Black woman doctor. Dr. Thompson, and from the beginning, and I was her first student to go through, and from the beginning, she said, you got this. You're going to get this. You know this. You will do this. And I wanted to make her so proud. I had to. But let's talk real talk. Every single chapter of the dissertation was a challenge.
Right.
Every single revision was a challenge.
Yes.
I don't know who my academic reader was, because I don't even want to think about them. They were wonderful, but every time I had to send it in to revise, I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Dr. Bearden was kind, but the semicolons almost took me out. But truly, like, it is the most elevated, elegant, clumsy language.
Yeah.
And how they want it written and what they want written and all of the work leading up to it, you'll probably hear a lot if you're on the journey or considering the journey. The topic just clicked. And like Dr. Simmons, it did. But at no time did it feel like it ever would click.
Yeah.
So just so you know,
real.
you don't see the light. You don't see the light and think it's a train. There is no light. It's pitch black. Right? There's hands that come out of the darkness to like hug you, feed you, pat you on the back, pray with you. It does click. You will not know when, and it will seem like it won't. It will.
That's real. That's real right there. Dr. E, man, going through them classes, you said it clicked for you, but I mean, you're still going through the classes. So how are you feeling as you see this big blob of mess start to slowly but surely come together?
Well, see, for me, I had that hard moment in my very first class. When I went to my master's program, it was, for some reason, I just flew by. It was not, I did my work at work. Probably I wasn't supposed to be doing that, but I was able to flow and write papers and discussions so fast. And I entered my very first class and my very first discussion came up and I was like, whoa. I literally got up from my desk, went to one of my coworkers' office and said, I don't know if I can do this. I was like, I'm reading it. I've read it about 3 times. I don't understand it. And then the article that I'm reading, it just feels like it's a pile of this blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't clicking. So literally I had to retrain my brain and come up with a strategy on how to tackle every single thing in class. So if I knew I had a discussion that was due on Wednesday, I would start on Sunday. I would read it. I would highlight it. I would make my notes and put them all over my desk at my work. I mean, they would be everywhere. Sticky notes would be everywhere. And I would literally work on it every single day. And on the last day, right before it was submitted, I would be like, I did it. And once I got in that rhythm and I retrained my brain, it eventually got a little easier, but it got super hard. My next hardest class that made me was like, you know what? This is it. I don't care how much I've done, was my quantitative class. I said, no. Downloading a system called SPSS and everything. And it was like, no, I can't do this. And I remember calling a mentor who had received her doctorate way before, a couple of years before I did. And she said, quantitative is the one class that when you're done with your dissertation, you're going to say, this is the reason why you call me Dr. So-and-so, because I endured. And when she said that, I was in, my wife, she would tell you, if we were out of town, I had a schedule every single day when I met with a tutor. And if I went to my tutor site and his schedule was full, oh, I would be pissed. I would be upset because I started depending on him. And at the end, I remember him saying, Rocky, I really think that you should take quantitative. And I said, oh, no, you done lost your mind. I'm not doing that. I'm definitely not doing that. I'll never do that again. So when it came down to the end, when it started to do the dissertation, I said, oh, I don't care if qualitative may be a little more hard at the end, sign me up, because I'm not learning no system on top of having to write a dissertation. And I'm telling you, that was just,
Hey,
that was just my very first class hit me right in the face. Like, I don't know if you knew what you was getting yourself into, but you got to be ready.
That's real. If we got any other doctors that are on here, let us know what was some hard stuff for you. Go ahead, Dr. V, jump right in.
Look, shout out to the qualitative studies doctors in the house, okay? That SPSS, I just had a flashback. I had to erase that from my brain. That was gone. It's back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care nothing about regression. I don't care who it is, what street they on. I don't care nothing about X, nothing. I don't care if Twitter done changed X. I don't care. That's how bad statistics were. And I had to take 2 classes in my program. 2.
Yeah, I had 2. I had 2.
Oh my goodness. So
thank God I only had 1. Thank God.
Yeah. I'm telling you. I mean, it gets worse when you go to the next one.
The statistics is the word problem of high school, right? Where you're like, I don't know why I'm learning this.
Yeah.
It's hard to learn this.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna flunk this, but I still have to do this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you,
Real
it
talk.
is no joke. No joke. Some people love it, some people don't.
Who loves it?
Look, I met a doctor that said she did her, because the thing about qualitative, and this is real talk, a lot of people don't realize is the numbers are going to come out what they come out. You can't fake them. You can't. So whatever you put in, it's just whatever numbers. So that's your research. So that's why some people love quantitative. But for myself, and I tell doctors this all the time, quantitative is your numbers. Qualitative is just telling the story. You're just telling the story that you're getting through your research. And hey, I love that, especially because that was a lot of my research. Or you could do mixed methods, which a lot of people are doing as well. So
that's even more work. No.
No, we're not doing that unless we
don't lie to the good people.
I'm just saying, we try to let folk know on the doc chat. We know what we saw, and as soon as we saw what we saw, we were like, I'm doing this. You can keep all that. I'm doing it. Hey, I'm telling y'all, this is amazing. Hey, I'm telling you.
You see this in the chat? This LinkedIn unidentified user, LinkedIn user quantitative is my jam. Identify yourself.
Wait, what?
Hey, some people love it. Some people love it. I'm telling you. We are here, folks, on the doc chat. I got Dr. V. I got Dr. E. This is season 3. We are back and we're doing it live again. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the folks jumping in, just checking us out. Now we're going to go back to Dr. V. You're writing the dissertation now. What was the fun stuff? What was the crazy stuff? What made you say, as far as writing your dissertation, I'm going to get this done no matter what comes my way?
First off, Dr. Miller, no disrespect. I believe.
Yeah, it comes up weird on our, but we love you, Dr. Miller. We love you, man. That's my guy. That's right. He'll be on later on. That's my guy.
I want to be really real. I would say the first challenge I had, we had a CMP course where you have your problem statement and your purpose statement and kind of the first feel of the paper. That was hard. One of the questions I asked in my research is, who, if anyone, has ever discouraged you when it comes to your career? And I will never forget the woman that said to me, every man I've ever dated, including my ex-husband. And it was a black female. It was a black female. And it has stuck with me. It was the moment I knew that I had to get this done, that voice had to be heard. And I think that's why it's so important that you do something that you're passionate about. It's too hard for you not to care about it. And I knew, and now this is, we're into chapter 4, chapter 5, so we're towards the end, but you're going to need that kick, right? It's like when you're running and those professional runners get that kick. I always just got exhausted, but towards the end, and then they go. But that was that kick.
Yeah.
Kick. And I think it's really important to do that. But when you're starting off writing it, I never thought it would change the world when I was writing it until that later stage.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important that as your work unfolds, it doesn't have to be masterful all the time. And it may not be masterful until you're on page 176 of a 177-page paper.
Yeah.
But there is magic in the process. And then people say, trust the process. Like, this is not The Bachelor. I don't mean that process, but there's magic in the rigor of it. And if you pick something that matters to you, there's a point that you will have the privilege of experiencing that magic.
That's good. That's good right there. Love that. Dr. E, jumping into that final work. You said it was something that, kind of jumped at you. You knew you was going to do that. Did you feel the same way when you were into it? Like, how did you feel actually getting it done?
Well, when I very first started, like Dr. B just said, we were calling, I guess, our big perspective stage. With my chair, she had a very extensive background in victim advocacy. So with that being said, she was a very stickler, because if I tried to maybe throw one past her really fast, she was like, no, that don't make no sense. I've worked in this field 20, 30 years. That don't make no sense. You may need to go back. And then I remember it was a time where I was excited about the gap that I wanted to tackle. And she was like, well, no, I've read a couple of articles on this, so you may need to maybe reassess this. And I was like, no. So that was like a big letdown. I was like, oh my God. No, I was like, I think this is going to cause me to change my whole focus. And I was like, you know what? Let me narrow it down. And that was a very big struggle for me, narrowing down my focus, because I just wanted to provide or find out how the state of South Carolina was providing services to children who have lost a parent in general.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care what it was. I was like, I just want to see how my state provides services to the youth. And she was like, no, you cannot do that. She was like, we're trying to get you done. And then if you want to continue to study, you can do it at a later date. But for me, that was the biggest issue for me, trying to narrow my focus down and narrowing it down into a point where I said, okay, this is something that I can really truly believe in, and really something I want to figure out. But just narrowing that focus down and getting that perspective, and trying to just get all three of us on the same page about what truly I wanted to do. I had to really just allow the process to take me where it would take me. And that was kind of hard for me to just relinquish control and just read and read and read and find that gap. That was my biggest issue. And for me, not being a really advocate of reading a lot, I was like, whoa, Jesus. 100 articles. And I was like, at this point, I don't want to read them. I know what my gap is. I know what it is.
Hey, I've seen it. I've lived it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Look at that shout out right there. We actually love it. We love when the families celebrate the amazing parents on the Doc Chat. There's 2 parents, 2 sons. Hey, we appreciate y'all, sons. We appreciate y'all checking out y'all parents. We love that. We absolutely love it. I'm telling you, folks, we're about halfway through. Time flies when you're having fun, but we got more with these doctors here on the Doc Chat show, because we have to get to this amazing finish line that they got to, because both of them are pretty new doctors. So I want to know from Dr. V, you just recently got done. Recently. How does it feel now getting to that finish line? You defended. What was that day like? And how does it feel now being on the other side?
Some of the people that joined because mine was online and it was a record, it was a live event, and I had a huge community from HubSpot where I work show up, specifically Black Hub people show up, and as well as my enablement team. Chi was there as well, and that day was incredible. First off, that day was the day I got to wear a pair of new Louboutins. So let's start there. And I had
there
them
you
on.
go.
I got the
Do it
best.
big. Do it big.
Incredible. My son is going to WGU. My daughter is going to WGU. They were both on that call. My husband was on that call. My community, my people were on that call, and the work was for them. It was for them. And as incredible as that day was, I want to make sure we talk about what came after October, I believe it was 19th, because I had a lot of anxiety leading up to that day and a lot of questions after that day, because I had spent so much of myself in this. And what replaces that? And that's real. What replaces that constant push? Like, it's one thing to say, yeah, this is great, but nothing else changes. Like, the sun still comes up and the sun still goes down. And yeah, you're a doctor now, but there's no parade.
You're talking good.
Before you reached out, there's not really a community. Like, there's not a Facebook page. And if there is, it's like, is that for me? Is that not for me? And reaching out to other doctors is kind of intimidating as well. So don't lose yourself, the core of who you are, in the process of expanding who you are, because it is tough to navigate those days after. At least it really was for me. It really was.
Powerful. That's powerful. And the great Dr. E, let me see if I can get some pulled up here. You had an amazing, amazing graduation. Tell me what it was, that graduation day for you. What did it mean for you?
Wow, it was seemed unreal. It felt unreal to be amongst so many individuals who have endured this process and stuck it out to the end. It was something, I don't know, it's just something that almost you can't even kind of put in words a little bit as it relates to all of the feelings. And then it was some high moments, and then it was like, oh, me, experiencing the loss of my mom. I'm like, oh, I wish she would have been here to kind of experience this. And this actually, the graduation was actually a week before my wedding as well.
Wow.
Yes. Graduation was the Friday before the wedding, and the wedding was that following Saturday on January 27th. So it was like all of these transitions that were actually going on in my life. And I was like, whoa, I was like, this is such a great occasion. But I guess you just sit in your moment like, whoa, I just wish these individuals could be here to witness this moment with you. But it's definitely experience that you just can't, for me, I just can't put in words. It was just something that I would cherish. And I was lucky to have, actually, it was three other individuals that we started this journey together. Two of us graduated together. So to be amongst someone that you talk to on the phone all the time or see on FaceTime all the time, but not actually touching each other. So that moment of being like, oh, you're real. I know I've talked to you. I've seen you on the phone, but all of those things. And also to my chair. I have been with my chair for 3 years, never seen her in person, just on FaceTime. And she came, and it was just almost kind of just felt like a big family reunion of like, oh, we've done it. We've made it to the finish line. And we're so glad that we had that community of support, that when I felt low, and with my other friend who was graduating at the time, when she felt low, we had to bounce off each other, because it was times I was like, I don't know. This is too much. I'm tired of writing, I'm tired of reading, I'm tired of editing, and it was community. So it was just a very joyous day.
That's powerful.
Your wife is a saint.
Yeah.
I'm saying, your wife is a saint. A week to your wedding. Yeah, she's a saint.
It was in
That's
San
beautiful.
Antonio, Texas. Yes.
Wow. And that's beautiful. As we see Dr. Buckley here, hey, she got proposed to at the graduation party. So it was Dr.
wow.
Green coming on. So I'm telling you, that is powerful right there, because you see the point of support that is so key. It is so key to get so many people through. They really, really need that support. And a lot of times these people don't realize, thank you for your spouses. Sometimes it's just one person. Sometimes you just need one. A lot of people are like, I got this community. Sometimes, look, I needed to go lay next to my spouse, and they at least held me during the crying, the tears. For some people, that's a lot of their stories. And that is real talk. That is definitely real talk. Hey, we appreciate you texting us out, Doc. Look, everybody loves coming together. We love coming together. And sometimes that first time when you see them in person, it just blows you away. Absolutely blows you away. And let me tell you about this right here, because I got to pull this up. You guys are inspiring, and we want to make sure you continue to know these are the reasons we're here. This right here, my bro AJ, we appreciate you. Look, this is why we do the Doc Chat. We got support for you. These folks right here are here to support you, and we want you to know that. And that is very, very important. So, hey, y'all are definitely, Dr. V, Dr. E, thanks for your amazing, amazing testimonies today. So here's another question. I got Dr. Woody. He always comes with some great stuff. Start with Dr. V. Looking at the question, did you ever think right now you're done? Is it still just that unbelievable feeling? Is it still just like, wow, I'm really doctor out here?
Yes, is the answer to that. I get to do my graduation in May, so it's coming up.
Can't wait.
Here's the thing. There's 4.4% of Black female non-medical doctors. I'm part of that 4.4%. And being part of that 4.4%, here's my rule. You call me Dr. V if I'm the only Black female non-medical doctor you will meet and or know exists. You call me Dr. V. If you know there's more of us, you are in community with more of us, you're going to come in contact with more of us, you're going to champion more of us, you can call me V. So I get a lot of Dr. V at work.
I love that. We love that.
And yeah, I'm still amazed by it. I think, somebody that was on food stamps, from somebody that, had my kids counting money as we're driving down the road, and they're thinking it's a game, and I'm thinking that's how many groceries we're going to be able to buy. So count the change too, including the pennies.
Yeah.
To dancing, to being incarcerated, to having 3 failed marriages and 1 phenomenal one. Those aren't things that typically have doctor attached to it. I married both of my children's husbands, but not both of them were born while I was married, right? And so, yeah, it's still surprising. Yeah, it's still incredible. Yeah, it's still flattering. Yeah, I'm still just as proud as I can be. It's remarkable, because we don't get, we have a road. There's a path to greatness, and there is equal access, generally high level, in theory speaking, but our roads aren't paved.
That's right.
Paved.
That's right.
And if you can imagine a wagon coming across and seeing the Grand Canyon and saying, how am I supposed to get around this, right? That's what it's like. There's a road. Good luck finding it. So yeah, I still can't believe it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I definitely second that. Is I have actually, my coworker actually changed it herself. I work for an organization where I'm the youngest in the whole entire in the organization, and also I have the most education out of everybody in the building. So for me, I tend to, and I find myself still struggling with the reality of, now I'm not just Mr. Ed Simmons or Mr. Rocket Simmons or whatever they call me. I'm now Dr. Ed Simmons. So a lot of times when individuals say it, sometimes inside I kind of cringe a little bit, because I'm like, I don't know. It's just something that I'm still, I guess it's just still new. I mean, I literally just I graduated. Well, I finished the program in August. and graduated in this past January. So for me, I think it's just the dynamic of the environment where I work. And still to this day, the only time that actually, or I guess would say, would it be addressed as doctor is if I'm introducing myself in a whole nother setting, but it's just not the norm of the community or the organization where I currently work as relates to local government, that individuals in this field even have PhDs.
Make them say it.
And see, and that's what I'm working on. And I guess I guess a little thing in the South, you're like, you're the youngest, so you don't want to, feel that you kind of being disrespectful. But it's just one of those things that I find myself kind of just working on. So I'm going to get better at that. My name is such and such, but a lot of times I don't even really bring it up unless I'm actually doing a presentation most times.
Well, it's understandable. Understandable. And hey, Dr. Buckley, she's flat out saying it, like, hey, this is my name. These are my credentials.
Yeah.
And I learned from a doctor. She got her doctor in social work. She said, sometimes you do have to just slide your credentials across the table, let them know who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. You earned it. And hey,
that's right.
We got the love here for you, Dr. V. Just the love. Ain't nobody surprised.
Maddie is great. Maddie is great. I changed my Slack handle to Dr. V the same day. The same day. Like, we can't find you in Slack. I was like, look under doctor.
There you
go.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, we appreciate you, Dr. Denton. This is real. This is real. And I mean, this is something we want to kind of go into talking about even more, because now that you both are over that hump, if you could tell somebody on here in the journey right now, the real, like, what would you tell them now, being the doctor, now knowing that I'm not only telling you go get the doctorate degree, I got mine. This is what I'm going to tell you on how you can get yours. What would you tell them?
Ooh, I guess I would go first. I guess I would say to not compare your journey or your process to anyone else.
Yeah.
That's good.
This is a process that if you're going to commit to it, you have to endure. And it's all about not who can finish the race the fastest, but who can actually stay in the race and get to that finish line. And that is, and just, I'm telling you, I tell people that all the time. Is, some people are like, oh, you have to be, the smartest to do a PhD. I said, no, you just have to be determined to stick it through, and determined not to give up, determined to reach that goal that you have set for yourself. So that's what I would just that's what my first or biggest advice would be to them, to stick it through. It's gonna be some hard nights. It's gonna be some early mornings. It's gonna be some very late nights. You may cry, you may want to cuss, whatever. You may want to have a drink, whatever your outlet is. There's going to be some times that you're going to question yourself: why did I do, or why did I sign up for this? Was I crazy? Am I not smart enough? What? All of these things are going to come to your mind. So don't be alarmed when all of these thoughts come. But it's about making sure that you know that you can do it. You can do it as long as you set your mind to it and stick out the race, and support and surround yourself with some individuals who are like-minded, who's going to encourage you, who's going to motivate you, and who's going to push you, and just instill those things in you. Those would be some of the nuggets that I would give individuals.
That's good. That's good. Dr. V.
I'm going to share the advice that my daughter, when she was still a double-digit teenager, I believe, she told me. I was going through a divorce. I said, this is hard. This is hard. And I don't know how this is going to shake out. And she looked at me, she must have been 19. And she said, it's the middle, Mom. It's the middle. You can't see the beginning. You can't see the end. You're not quite sure where things fit. It's supposed to feel this way.
Wow.
As you go through it, whatever you're feeling, it's supposed to feel this way. It's the middle. That's simple.
Yeah. Wow. And it's when you get a paper back and it looks like somebody done spilled Kool-Aid all over it.
Oh gosh.
Read
it again.
Dr. V she had a flashback right there. I'm telling you, it will
I'm
make
sorry.
you
Give me a
feel
minute.
it'll make you feel that small. But you want to get those papers because it's going to make you a better writer. And so going back to Dr. V, when you're looking at now, what do you want to do now that you have that doctorate degree? Because both of y'all just fresh out. What is the next goal for you that you're setting as I'm going to do this now that I'm doctor, and you're going to go and make that happen? What's next for you?
Every single stage I can get on. It is imperative that women, especially overworked BIPOC and Black women, know that outsourcing traditional tasks is an equity play. You don't have to explain that to your mother-in-law. You don't have to feel guilty about it. It is literally an equity play. And telling every single business to stop offering gym memberships and start offering grocery delivery services, meal delivery services, laundry services, house cleaning services. These are equity plays. And I want to be on every single podcast and every single stage. And I want to say it until I see it change things. It is an imperative. This is an equity play for us. We have an unfair burden on us because of the intersectionality of women and color. And it could be gender fluency. It could be sexual preference. It could be so many things. But if you're Black, you got something. And if you're a woman, you got something else. And Black men, I'm still praying for y'all. And I mean that from the depths of my soul. But this has to get out. And so my goal is, there's a lot of secret ones, right? That TEDx stage, that Afrotech stage.
Nice.
Right? Those stages where people listen to your ideas. That's got to happen.
Nice. Dr. E, what's next for you? What is next?
Yes, as relates to just career-wise, first, just trying to do everything that I can to provide better services for my community in general. Yes, my study was on a particular demographic or a different specific population of youth. I want to provide better services for individuals within my community. Working in this field, I see myself or find myself talking to community leaders who take jobs in particular demographic of communities as relates to maybe the rural towns as mainly African American. And what we see, or what I find to see, is that we put individuals in power that do not know the struggle of the community. So how can that person implement adequate services for a community that they do not have no ties to?
Say it again.
Yeah.
How can we improve our community and we're not having individuals that look like me, like you, in those positions that are advocating, who's at the table making decisions for the community that they're serving?
That's powerful. Absolutely powerful.
So that's,
I'm telling you, if you look at a lot of these big time nonprofits that are getting a lot of these federal grants, and you just look at who works there, and knowing they're going into our communities and asking the questions, then taking that back to the leaders that be and say, this is how you help them. But how can you say this is how you help them, but you're not one of us?
There you go.
You're on to something right there, Dr. E. You definitely on to something, my guy. That's for sure. That's for sure. Dr. V, go ahead.
Podcast canceled. You're going to get your podcast canceled talking like that.
We done got hacked. We done had people go off in the comment. Trust me, we here. We are absolutely here. But everybody that looks like us sees this. And I know in particular a nonprofit that I was working with when I was working on my doctorate, and they flat out said there are some people that cannot come up in here because we know exactly what they're doing. And they're not even going to come back with the information that they gathered on us and give it back to us. They're not going to do it. So, hey, that is absolutely why we have to tell our stories. We have to do it. Absolutely have to do it. I'm telling you, folks, This has been just incredible. We got a little bit more time left here on the Doc Chat Show. I got Dr. E, I got Dr. V. This is season 3. We are doing some amazing, amazing things this season, and they're coming up really, really soon. Hey, I'm telling you, your wife is a ball player, my guy. She is on your team. I'm telling you, she is showing you love. And hey, she's telling the truth. Got to bridge the gap. We have to, absolutely have to. And we want more people to be able to do that. And so we're going to go ahead and let you all know some of the stuff that's been going on with the Doc Chat since we logged off in September, because I logged off for football season because I like my Thursday night football, and I knew y'all weren't going to come watch me anyway, and that's all right. But we are back on now. We're going to be on every week, and we got to show you what we've been up to. So this happened Tuesday night in Atlanta, Georgia, College Park. We had our second iteration of the Doc Chat Dinner. And let me tell you, folks, it was incredible. Look at all these educated Black folks, a mix of doctors, a mix of professionals. And we want to come to your city. I'm telling you, we got Philly lined up on April 12th. I just got a buzz in my ear that we could be headed to Charlotte on April 27th. And I'm telling you, I want people far and wide to come, because we want to let y'all know we need to come together and we need to have these moments. We need to connect with one another. And hey, if we can do it, we can come to your town. You can get enough of these great folks to come together. We want to do it. Shout out to my guy, Dr. Roz. Man, he met me here in DC area. He also met me down in Atlanta. I'm telling you, people are like, when are you coming to us? Yes. We need this, and we want to make it happen, because we know how important it is to bring like-minded doctors and Black professionals together to break bread and to talk about the amazing work we're doing. So thank you all so much for the incredible support. We're going to keep on with these amazing guests. So Dr. V, one more comment to the folks that are going on those doctorate journeys, even that are doctors that are finishing out. What would you tell them? And also let the folks know where they can find you and connect with you, because people definitely saw you tonight, and we appreciate your realness.
This is what I would. You can find me on drvboykin.com. You can find me on LinkedIn. I would say, look, reach out to other doctors, right? Like, maybe some won't respond. Maybe some of them are on a trip. I haven't found any that aren't receptive, and I could have reached out to them before I had doctor in my title. Make those connections so you know you're not alone. I would say that's critically important. And the other thing I would say is, you is smart. You is smart. You can do it. But like, there's going to be that voice that's telling you sometimes things that just aren't true. You are smart enough for this. You are bright enough for this. You are resilient enough for this. And you are wise enough that if you need to take a beat and come back to this, you could do that too. There's no absolutes. Just keep making progress. Write one line a day, if that's all you can do. But stay there. That's it, Dr. V. Boykin, right there. Right there.
Love that.
I don't know. It looks like I have it in beta right there. But look, tell them to stop talking about your attitude and start talking about your accomplishments. Tell people that, and tell yourself that you can get through this.
Yeah. We love it. We absolutely love it. And I'm telling you, folks, make sure you reach out to her. Make sure you connect with her. You hear the realness. This is real talk of, I can overcome anything, and God can put me in a doctoral robe and get hooded, and I can get that doctor degree. You can put doctor in front or back of your name. It don't matter. Once you got it, put it wherever you want. I'm telling you, we need to see it as us, as people of color. And I absolutely love it. We are so proud of you, Dr. V. We appreciate you coming on the Doc Chat Show tonight. Now I'm going to give it over to my guy, Dr. E. One more tip you would give to any doctors that are working on a doctorate degree, and tell folks where they can find you at.
Yes, Dr. V said it so perfectly. It could have been said any better. The only thing that I would add to what she said is to remember. I remember when I graduated from high school and I lost my mom. It was one quote that I have always held dear to me, and it says, "Nothing is impossible. The word itself spells impossible." So that's what I would tell individuals to hold on to, know that Anything that you set your mind to, your hands to do, your heart to do, your hands to do, whatever you set on your mind, if you stay focused, motivated, and I would say I'm a Christian myself, but keep God first. He will guide you and he will continue to cover you through this process. And as long as you surround yourself, like Dr. B said, reach out to those individuals who might have already went down this path, or find that community within maybe your own school or your own program. Surround yourself with like-minded people and hold on to those connections and those relationships. That's what's going to get you through. That's what's going to get you through when times get rough, when times get hard. Those real connections are what's going to push you through. And if anyone is maybe needs to find me, or want to ask me any questions, or would like to speak with me, they can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on there as Ed Simmons. And also I'm on, if you want to come to Facebook, I'm on there as Rocky Simmons. But
Wait. You're not on there as Doctor?
I'm telling you, on LinkedIn, I am on as Dr.
LinkedIn,
Ed.
yes.
Yes, Dr. Ed Simmons.
Okay.
On LinkedIn, I am. On LinkedIn, I'm listed.
You know, Facebook be funny. They be like, "Can you verify this?"
Exactly. But on Facebook, I'm listed as Rocky Simmons, and you can find me there. And I open anyone to reach out to me. I mean, I'm here to assist in any way that I can.
That's good. That's good. We got a couple more minutes. I got one more quick question. To talk to the parents and also talk to the people who are either in a relationship or married. Either aspect y'all want to take, what would you tell them? Because I don't think people realize how important that support piece is.
Oh,
and I just want to hear from y'all real quick. I just want y'all to touch base on that. How important is it to have the great spouse, and then also properly letting your kids know this is what mommy's doing, this is what daddy's doing, to be able to make sure that you can make it through to the finish line? Dr. V.
There's nothing like the love of a Black man that is my husband. There's nothing like that support, and there's nothing like having that cheerleader. And it is critical. It is uncompromising. If you're not in a relationship where they are your biggest cheerleader, I'm here to tell you there actually are people built that way. Go find them. Yes. Go find them. I'm not saying break your marital vows, but if you're not married, it's time to take a step back. And as far as so get that support. And if you don't have that support, relinquish that person to go find their person so you can find your person. I'll definitely say that. Again, not trying to break any marital vows. The other thing I would say is, my doctorate is mine, but it belongs to my whole family, and they were included in it, and it was our achievement. So it wasn't me taking time away from them; it was me building us. And I think it's really important to share that, even though at times you want to hold it so tight. It's really important to share that. That's what I would say.
That's good. That's good, Dr. E.
It's very, 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 I can't say that enough. Very important to make sure that if you are dating or if you are married, to have that spouse that is going to be okay with you maybe pulling away them almost seems like all the time to get this work done. And Shelby, she's on here, my wife, she would make jokes because the three of us, it was two other females that are older than me, but she would call them my wives. She'd be like, "Oh, he's on the phone with his wives," because we would get on the phone and we would stay on the phone for literally hours, just coaching each other through, because that's what it took. That's what it took. And as soon as I got done, when I went to start writing my acknowledgments and everything, every single person.
Look at that. Look at it.
Got a section. I'm telling you, got a section to say, "Hey, I understand this might have been rough, but I thank you for just being the positive light that I needed, for encouraging me, to saying, you got this. I know you're tired, but you got this." you're gonna be fine. Keep going. Don't give up. Because even though sometimes I would say, you know what, I got this, but sometimes I just needed someone else to reaffirm in my
Come
spirit
on with it.
that I had it, I was going to be okay. And I can't stress it enough how critical or how important it is to surround yourself with either a village, or if it's just one person that you can call and that you can vent to, that you can cry to, whatever you need in that moment. And trust me, you'll be grateful for that person. And when it comes to the end, you will see why that was one of the first things that I did, that I thought was very important, that I shared this moment with them and told them thank you for being by my side throughout this whole process.
That was the most emotional moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
That writing that acknowledgement. Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to ask that question, because I did mine single, and I purposely was single because I said I can't find a woman who understands what I'm going through. I had a woman tell me, John, the doctor that you're working on is not that important. And I cut her off instantly, because you have to have a person. They may not understand everything that's going on. You might not be able to tell them about all the theoretical frameworks that you're working on, all the regressions, all those different types of things. And they'll be like, okay. But sometimes just to have that person that's a listening ear, I mean, it can make the difference between you finishing and you not. And I've talked to so many doctors that have been on both sides. I had somebody great that helped me get through, or I got somebody that is hindering me from getting through. It's real talk, folks. Absolutely real talk. I'm telling y'all, this has been a blessing. This is the first episode of the Doc Chat Season 3 with Dr. V and Dr. E. Look, that's what happens when you have an hour of power. It flies by just like that. And I cannot thank them enough for this amazing opportunity. All the commenters, everybody that checked us out, I'm telling you, Thursday nights, 8 p.m., we're going to be here. I have 2 months worth of shows. There's 2 months worth of doctors that are going to be right here on the Doc Chat. We're doing it live on LinkedIn. We're doing it live on YouTube. Tell somebody about this. Let folks know that if you need to get your doctor done, there is a community out here. We support you, and we're here for you. To Dr. V, Dr. E, I appreciate y'all so very much. And to all our community, we'll see you on next week. Hey, I have a huge show next Wednesday where we are talking about creating your brand, publishing your dissertation, and creating your business after you become a doctor. That is on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And then I got 2 great doctors coming on next Thursday. Hey, we are making it happen here on the Doc Chat. So make sure you tune in. Check me out, of course, on LinkedIn, Dr. John C. Turner. Go ahead and connect with me. Let me tell you the power of this show, folks. We had 2 seasons. We had over 30,000 views in just those 2 seasons. So we are rolling. And this has been a blessing. And I'm so thankful for everybody that comes on. So until next time, hey, make sure you connect with Dr. V and Dr. E. They're on LinkedIn. That's how they found me. We're doing great things. And until next time, folks, we're going to say peace out.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.